Hey everyone, Scott here. I am sitting in my office. I'm not usually sitting, but I'm sitting right now, end of the day, and I'm just wrapping up uh, what has been a really interesting, productive day. And what I wanted to hop on this little Facebook Live on is to talk really quickly about cold emailing. So a lot of times I get questions from people like, "Hey, what's the right script to use for my cold emails?" And usually 90% of the time or more, my first response is, well, one, why are we cold emailing people? And two, what is the desired outcome, right? Because cold email generally sucks. It sucks to write, it sucks to send, it sucks to get. I get tons of cold email every day, every week. And it also sucks a lot of your time and your energy. It makes you feel like you're selling. It makes you feel like you're doing your prospecting because you're getting in front of a bunch of people. But chances are you're probably, one, pissing people off because you're sending a cold email they didn't ask about. Two, anybody who does actually reply to you, do you really want that kind of person on a phone call? Like if you happen to hit the bullet with the bullet, like the one thing that you do is the one thing that person needs, are you sure that that person really needs something? Or are they maybe just taking a demo, a product demo, because they're just interested to see what you're doing? Or maybe they're just really bored. Or maybe they're just looking for stuff to do. Or maybe they're looking for a job. Like what is it really that people do with cold email? Like I don't do anything with it. Have you ever replied to a cold email? If you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, like, how do I put together the right cold email to get people to respond to me? The first question I would ask you is like, well, have you ever replied to a cold email? Like I'm looking in my inbox right now and I keep a tagged list of emails, and I have a tag in my email called bad emails because I get that many bad emails every day because I'm a founder, I'm a CEO. People can find me on LinkedIn, they can find me on AngelList, they can find me in lots of places. And so this one in particular is one of my favorites because it's like the third or the fourth in a sequence of cold emails. Hey Scott, I've sent you a couple of emails regarding how we may be able to help you generate a predictable high quality flow of new business leads at your company, but not heard from you. There's a grammatical error in there, which tells me one of three things. Number one, you're all set with lead generation solution, so I should stop bothering you. Two, given your founder role, you're interested but haven't had the time to get back to me yet. Three, you've fallen and can't get up, and in that case, let me know and I'll call someone to help you. Please let me know which one, as I'm starting to worry. Smiley face. All the best. Have you ever sent an email like that? Do you have an email sequence that finishes up the fourth email with this little technique that everyone has seen and everyone is sending? I mean, there's some variations, like instead of falling and can't get up, it's got eaten by a hippopotamus or fell off a cliff or something like that. Like, what is it that, like, why would you want to do cold email? Like, if you want to get in touch with somebody, if you see somebody in your marketplace, you're on a company website, you go to a company, you go to a conference, you see a company that falls into your perfect prospect profile, then you see the person that is the kind of person that you know you need to talk to. It's a VP of IT, or it's a chief marketing officer, or it's the head of product that you know is the right buyer for your product. Like, why are we just trying to scrape 1,000 of these off of a website, plop them into an email campaign, and fire them off without asking? Like, why do you think GDPR exists now? People are tired of this stuff. So let's not do that. Instead, what if we could do a little bit of research? Because the same person that sent me the email that I just read to you, I just went on LinkedIn. And turns out that we have a couple of mutual connections. And turns out that we also have a couple of other things in common, including we're both have worked as mentors at certain accelerators. There's like 5 or 6 different things that he's done, that I've done, that we have in common. What if instead he created some connection there? What if he asked one of our mutual connections for an introduction? What if he just sent me a LinkedIn request directly, say, hey, I saw we were connected to a couple of the same people. At some point, I'd love to catch up. In the meantime, if you want to connect, that would be great. And just create a connection first, and then a conversation. And then after we have a connection and after we have a conversation, if there's a place and a time for us to have a conversion kind of activity around a call, an email exchange, a demo about what this guy does and how he can help my business, sure, let's have that. Let's do it. But let's not get lazy Let's not get complacent. Let's not pretend that we're working by sending out these cold emails. The illusion of work, the illusion of selling, the illusion of prospecting. So just don't do it, okay? There's a time and a place. Eventually, maybe at some point, you might have to do some cold emailing when your company's really, really big and you're trying to generate new leads. But even then, I'd really question, like, what is it that your company's doing wrong that of all the things in the world that you might be able to do to find new customers, to find new leads, like, you have to resort to cold email? You can't think of something better than that? If that's really your default strategy, or if that's one of the things you're relying on to come through for you, and that's one of the places you're investing some of the high opportunity cost time that you have as you're trying to grow and ramp and scale your startup, I think you take a moment or two and just ask yourself, like, what am I really doing here? I think you got much bigger problems than trying to figure out what is my cold email strategy. What should my cold email script be? If that's the place where you feel like that's where you're going to get leads and grow and scale your company, I think you got much, much bigger problems. So let's just agree not to do it anymore. Cold email sucks. It sucks to write, it sucks to send, it sucks to get, and it sucks all the time and energy out of your workday. You could be spending that time connecting with people that you want to talk to, that might even want to talk to you back, and create conversations that's informative and valuable. All right, maybe that turned into a little bit of a rant, but I just wanted to share that. All right, so let's just say no to cold email. Thanks for watching. See ya.